What up, player?
What up, player?
No. That's my thing, Adam.
I
You
am
can't
allowed
take
this free country. We're doing a fucking podcast. I can say whatever I want.
No, I say what up, player.
All right, boom
What up,
shakalaka.
Okay.
We go to
whatever.
boom shakalaka.
Yeah, get your thing, whatever.
Bang! Episode 4. We are back. We hear you. We have intro songs. We have outro songs. We don't care if you like them. They're stuck with us.
No, we have an intro song and an outro song.
It's going to be one of those episodes, guys. Stay tuned.
Three average young men, they don't know anything. This is listen at your own risk. Two average sized guys and a big friend tie. This is listen at your own risk.
We are back. It's been a long hiatus, huh, Adam?
God, that intro song is good.
Oh, yeah, that gets the
Hypes me
the blood pumping.
It feels like we're running out in like a professional wrestling event. Like we're going to
Like a
tag team.
jumbotron with
That's
some
Layer's music. We just come out fucking breaking tables. Yeah, that's how I feel. Honestly, how I
I
feel.
gotta hold this podcast on the whole mic. It's falling all over the
So
place.
we are so back from some trips. Ty went out to see California.
California, yeah, big state.
Yep.
In there.
Yep, I've never been there, but I went to Florida.
Really?
Florida was a good time. Adam, where'd you go?
Can we pause real quick so I can fix this podcasting arm?
And that was seamless. Seamless.
So after some technical difficulties and a word from our sponsor, we are again back with episode 4.
That was my bad. Hopefully you all enjoyed 1877 Cars for Kids on repeat.
So as I was saying, Adam, did you go anywhere? Ty and I went to California and Florida. Where were you?
I went to Boston and back Monday through Thursday, both
That's
weeks.
because you work there.
Mm-hmm. I went to Connecticut once.
That
Lot of fun.
sounds really warm, and
Actually, one of the days you guys were gone was like 60 degrees.
I heard that.
So one thing, I've had this argument with like a lot of people, and this was so impromptu right now, but what is the worst New England state? And we're
Connecticut.
gonna-
It's not even
by
close.
far.
Not
it's
even
Connecticut. It's
Yeah.
Connecticut.
Connecticut smells horrible.
Even people who live in Connecticut, they do the math. They're like, shit, I think it's Connecticut.
Yeah.
There's another top podcast that talked about this big host of that podcast, and he was talking about how Connecticut was the armpit of the country, not even the New England.
Is
It's
that Mr. Joe Rogan?
it might
I
have, it
always
might
thought
have.
it was New Jersey.
Jersey.
New England
Jersey's
state.
kind of the pit.
Oh,
you know,
no, yeah, well, you said the whole country.
yeah,
Oh, worst state in the country?
it's
Dude,
pretty close.
yeah.
Dude, that cannot be Connecticut.
It can't be Connecticut.
Have you
dude.
been to Bridgeport?
We're hard hit in New Britain.
If we're really flushing this out, I've only been to 20% of states. I've never been to a Dakota. I've never been anywhere around those states. Like Iowa can't be that good.
Do you know who never gets talked about? Delaware.
I've been to
Never hear
Delaware
about that.
repeatedly.
I've been to Delaware.
I've
a
driven
bunch of
through
times.
it, but you got,
I've
got,
actually
any,
been-
got any stories?
I've been to Delaware like 5 times.
Yeah, I went to
Yeah.
I used to
Firefly
play a
Music
baseball
Festival.
tournament in it, and I used to coach a baseball tournament in it.
But I feel like
No,
nothing
there's
ever
a-
happens there.
No, there's a pretty good beach area.
Yeah.
They have a big boardwalk.
Good for them to stay low key.
Yeah, and it's the first state. Delaware's the first state.
And
Don't
that's
fact check
where
that.
that's where our president's from.
Oh, that just made Delaware suck.
Not Ty's president, am I right?
So yeah, we went on some trips. I had a quick story I wanted to tell about my trip that referenced the last podcast. About we'll get into your airport stories, Ty. About a man on a scooter and his horn. So Adam. I keep saying I want to say Ty
Yeah,
told the story,
no.
but no, Adam was talking about
Adam.
the guys on scooters riding
Dude,
around.
actually, hold up. Adam
Wait a
referenced
minute.
something in our group chat the other day, and you took credit for my joke. I don't remember what it was.
What was it?
But I gotta throw you in a full Nelson for
It
that
was,
one.
why did the chicken cross the road?
Oh yeah, to get to the other slide.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. I didn't take
No,
credit
I'm
for
just-
that. I was like,
no, it was
never
something-
said that.
It was something else. I can't remember.
Oh well, I'm sorry if I did that. I don't think I.
Before you
think you
start,
are.
Joe,
I
the
don't think you
worst
are,
thing
sorry.
that ever happens to me in my life is when people confuse me for Ty. And it only happened twice with you.
Well, I'm sorry for that. But anyways, this man on a scooter, we're walking through Disney Springs, and there's crowds of people everywhere. No one's moving anywhere, and this guy is going the same pace as me, and he's laying on the horn, just honking, and leaving the horn. It's like, and it's so quiet that I could have literally talked to the person in front of me and said, "Excuse me, sir," and they would have moved on my way.
Like
This guy-
like at a grocery store.
Yeah.
Those things?
Yeah, little carts. And he's scootering around, putting around, and he's just laying on the horn, like expecting people to get out of his way. It's like, guy, just say excuse me, and people might move, but no one can hear your horn.
What
It's so
confidence
loud.
level do you have that he was fully able-bodied? I'm not comfortable with this conversation.
I'm not comfortable with this at all.
I'm thinking about leaving.
I
the
think
pod.
it's bullshit that Joe can assume
Yeah.
anything like this.
And that he's referencing me as if I would be supportive of this.
yeah, he was like, Adam will get this.
Yeah.
Adam was the one that said that the scooter people were the worst people there. So
No. Those people have rights.
We all know the worst people are Disney adults.
oh well, Ty, I think you referenced somebody else being worse people.
Wait, no, my problem with scooters too.
It's the Nazis. It's the Nazis.
We are an anti-Nazi podcast. We should talk about that more, but we're good on this episode. My problem with the scooter people in
Scooter people?
in Disneyland was that I was outnumbered. And I, with full confidence, can say that 70% of the people on scooters were just teenagers that thought it was fun, and I thought I was going to lose a foot.
I think it's so disrespectful when people, like teenagers, will grab the scooters at like a grocery store or Walmart.
I hate it.
I think it's so disrespectful. But I used to work at a grocery store that had those scooters. And I used to drive them in from the parking lot.
Yeah, me too. Because they would just leave them in the parking lot.
Did you work at the same grocery store I did?
Don't think so. You worked at
Market Basket.
I worked at Big Y.
I got
used to-
fired from Market Basket. Their loss.
Their loss
Their
is right.
loss.
I got fired for just not showing up for months on
I
end.
told them that I couldn't go, and I did that on 3 different occasions. That I didn't show up for a couple months, and on the 3rd time they're like, "All right."
And they were the only 3 times that they asked him to work. Oh, God, I can't make
Can't
it
put
that
myself
day.
I was pretty
schedule.
good at pushing in carts, though. I could push in a lot of.
I could wheel some of them. One time I flipped over.
Oh, you worked at Big Y? It smelled. That parking lot
Stinky.
smells atrocious.
Stinky. Yeah. Well, the
like
sewage
Connecticut.
place right there. Yeah. Am I right? So
New
I
Jersey.
was pushing in like 8 carts at once, and like they're like, oh,
Eight?
only do
That's it?
4. Well, it was.
I could do like 30.
You had to wrap around like a corner
Yeah,
and get up
yeah.
on a curb, and I was pushing it up, and then the whole thing just tipped over. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I got to flip this back up, and like these 2 guys come over, and they come over to go help me, and they just go, 1, 2, 3, and I was like, in my head, I'm like singing U2. I'm like, 14, hello, like. But we lift the thing up, we get it back up, and they really did help me out. So if they're listening out there, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
But yeah,
Ty, airport story for us?
Oh, yeah. So, I travel around a decent amount. So you run into a plane delay here and there. More often than not, really. And that is what it is, right? Like at airports and air traffic control is a pretty wild thing to control, and the failure rate's probably pretty good.
And it's a tough thing to complain about because if they're like, hey, our plane has mechanical issues, you can't sit and be like, let's just try it out.
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
do
well,
it.
yeah, we'll
Yeah,
work.
like,
It's
yeah,
like a
you
car
kinda
with a
like-
check engine light. It's like,
Let's just get home at least.
Yeah.
The
I'll
wing's
push
gonna
it.
fall off. Yeah.
Oh, no hydraulics, that'll land. It'll
Yeah,
be
I'll be
fine.
alright. But so the stewardess at the front counter was like, oh, I just want to let everyone know the mechanic is on the plane. We will have you on the plane soon. And this was after it was already delayed by like 45 minutes. And I got priority boarding, so I boarded pretty early. So I'm up there, standing up there, and some jag-off in front of me goes, liar! Yells liar at her. I was like, is this guy serious right now? And he turns around and he scans the crowd looking for supporters. And he looks at me like we make quick eye contact. I'm like, not me, man. You're looking at the wrong guy.
It's like, this guy looks like a guy who will back me in a
No,
fight.
I'm like, I'm following the rules back here. I understand that things happen, and I am comfortable where I'm at.
Maybe it was like his ex-girlfriend that was just totally unrelated.
yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't even getting on the plane. He just goes to the airport and heckles her.
He just like wrote on the dirt on the side of the plane like liar. Like
Watch this plane.
Yeah.
You broke my heart, Francine. So then finally we start boarding, and she goes, all right, and we're ready to board. And this guy starts clapping. He starts clapping. Guess how many other people clapped?
30.
6.
No, none. It was none.
Oh,
No one clapped for him because he's an asshole. But there's people like that just we don't need it. We don't need that.
No.
Things happen in
You know
life.
what? They don't need that. The people on the flight attendants,
Was she
the
fixing
pilots.
the plane?
Yeah,
Did
exactly.
she break the plane?
Yeah.
No,
But she broke his heart.
Oh yeah, she
True.
might have broke his
She
heart.
did break his
But
heart.
then there was a guy. There was a guy walking around the whole seating area. When you're sitting at the gate, yapping away on his speakerphone, just making a big scene. I don't know what he was saying. I wasn't listening, but I was getting frustrated with it.
People who talk on speakerphone on their phones are just might be some of the worst people out there.
Finally, the stewardess yelled at him, and I was very happy to see that.
Can we briefly go through the worst people on the planet?
Yeah.
I know we're wildly unprepared for this, but people who FaceTime in public, like at my old gym in my apartment, I had a lady who would just go there and just FaceTime her kids and just keep them on FaceTime the whole time. Soundproof headphones and all, I can still hear screaming kids in my ear. Playing music out loud in a public area is one of the worst things you can do.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I think talking on your phone in public on speakerphone is one of the worst things. Top tier.
Especially if you're having like phone sex or something, that's just rude.
Especially in an
Why
airport.
Are you listening when I'm doing this?
Yeah.
I got a boombox. Screaming louder.
Got a Bose speaker so everyone else can hear. See, I can make her happy.
People who don't push their grocery carts back. I never worked at a grocery store like you two, but
I did.
that's a horrible thing to do.
Yeah.
It's like it's hard enough. You got to walk out there if it's pouring rain, whatever, and people are like, "Oh, I don't want to get wet." Leave their cart by their car. It's like just fucking roll it over to the thing so I don't have to walk over there.
Something big with that too is like when you grab a cart or when you pull into a grocery store parking lot, you take responsibility that your car can get hit with that. So like there's no insurance claims when your car gets hit with that. So you call the grocery store and they're like, we'll give you a $25 gift card. And you bitch a little more, maybe they'll give you a $50 gift card. But at the end of the day, just bring your cart back.
Oh my God, remember Big Y with their like silver and gold coins?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
If
so
you
it's
give me
a
a
slot
gold
machine.
coin, you could total my car for a gold coin.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give out my full government name, but I have my silver card is still on my account because I used to work there. So now whenever I go into Big Y and I punch in my phone number, I still get all the silver coin discounts on
I thought they
everything.
did away with the silver and
Oh,
gold.
I don't know.
coins.
All I
There was
know
like
is
a
it just
blue
says
one
silver.
too, right? Yeah,
yeah.
you had
There
the,
used to be a ton. There used to be like 5.
Yeah, you had it was like a slot machine at the
Boy,
the
was
counter.
there.
It
Yeah.
was the best. And if you got a gold coin, it was like, oh, that's a free party-sized pizza.
So every time we would,
was.
literally, it was dirt cheap. Whenever we'd go into work, like I'd go up front, and no one would be up there, and I'd just put in my phone number, and then we'd just hit the spinner, and like every day I'd work, I'd win like a gold coin. It's like, oh, there you go, $5 party pizza, and those party pizzas were great.
Did it lose its luster just having free access to it?
I think I brought upon my gambling addiction.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's like, keep winning on this thing. You got to win in slots.
Dude, people at slot machines. I'm not going to say these are the worst people on the planet. It's just an interesting lifestyle. But no, I love slots.
Oh, we're still on worst people on the planet.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so I gotta give at least one.
Yeah,
Okay.
people at slot machines who smash the machine constantly, like hit them, like if they have a free game going on and they think that if they just
No, they
fucking-
touch the screen. You have to touch the screen.
I don't mind if you touch it. I've sat next to old ladies who are very friendly to me. Like at Encore that we used to go to, like saw a couple old ladies. They were a blast. Like had a great time. But when one of them got free games or was trying to win a bonus, she wouldn't just like touch the screen where she wanted it. She would smack the ever living shit out of this like full open palm, just like bam, 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 as if that's gonna help. And I think if I'm programming the machine, that would disincentivize me.
I would make it a loser.
Yeah, exactly. She's like,
100%.
oh, I never win here. It's like, nobody ever wins here. Stop coming here 4 times a day.
She's like, I was up like $600 at one point. I lost it all. It's like, oh, I wonder how that happens.
There is a cheat code to games. I already said that on a previous pod.
If you did, I forgot.
Win then leave.
No, no, that's stupid, Joe. Never leave on top. No, it's when the cruise ship gets into international waters and the machines heat back up. When they're preheating, oh yeah, that's when they're hot.
Here's the problem is I don't have access to getting on a cruise ship
Well, you
consistently.
should. It honestly pays itself off if you hit the machines at that time.
I think that was our life.
We
can make
quit
that
our
work
jobs
with
and we're like, we just go on cruises and win on the casinos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
we
like the
actually
first
get
half
paid
hour.
like $3 or $4 grand a month. Like it's not
$50 a spin.
Yeah, it's not like break the bank money, but we live for free.
It's an
and we
honest
eat for
living.
free, so it actually makes a lot of sense.
The drive for 205 is going to be something.
Yeah.
When we're eating at buffets.
So
What do you mean?
That's saving it for next episode.
I know. Well, next episode, you guys will hear about the drive for 205.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Yeah. We have access to things that you guys don't know about.
Wait,
Man.
so the worst type of people? We didn't round that out.
People who litter substantial amounts of things.
Yes.
Like if you
Yes.
throw, I have Zin. Occasionally, I'll throw Zin out.
That's
or-
littering. Oh no!
I was
they're
just
not,
gonna- I was just-
compost.
No, not for a while.
Worst
They're
thing I
actually
think that would
littering.
happen is like a squirrel or a bird gets a nicotine addiction.
Yeah, and good for them.
Yeah.
Imagine a bird on nicotine. They're probably they'd be south. They'd be in Costa Rica. Never mind going down
I
to
think
like
if there's
Florida.
any animal that doesn't need nicotine, it's birds.
No, it's squirrels.
Squirrels are crazy.
Oh,
too.
they are
Squirrels are a little crazy.
too much.
But maybe it would take the edge off of the squirrel.
I
Maybe
agree.
they'll just chill out. Maybe they're always craving and they get a little nicotine. They just
Let's give them some CBD. They'll be all right.
yeah. We start littering.
I keep
massive
trying to
amounts of
think of
CBD.
like the worst type of people, and all I can think of is Adam. So like I can't like put something in particular.
I would put that on my list as well.
But
I'd agree.
anyone like Adam, I guess, is where
Yeah.
I'm at. Yeah.
I just
You know
this
what I'm
isn't-
realizing is now like we have that live feed recording. I just look like a floating head right now. You know, I'm wearing this camo sweatshirt. Everyone's like, you know, it looks weird, right?
Ty's floating around. out
Yeah,
there.
and it's
Let's
just
go
a
out.
floating head with this
Is his head
camo
always
sweatshirt.
that small?
Yeah, my head is that small. Thank you.
Worst people on the planet, people like Ty who hog all the Ozempic, so diabetic. Diabetic people can't-
Diabetic.
Diabetic people.
That's not true.
People
That's
with
not true.
diabetes.
I
Not
think
true.
people who just like throw their cars into parking spots and they're like taking over
Oh,
too.
or people that park at a gas pump and don't pump gas.
I occasionally do that.
I do.
Like I said, my worst type of people are just people
it's
like
not
Adam.
like it's not like a go-to thing. But if the gas station has all of their parking spots filled, you just go. Or if you go to a Buc-ee's, which I mentioned on the previous thing, there's 5,000 parking spots in the gas pumps.
Yeah, so if you so you're saying you would park at a gas pump.
Yeah, or if I'm just like running in real quick and the spot closest to the door, like if I'm cashing a scratch ticket, no one's there. I'm not going to inconvenience somebody by doing it.
But
I'm
you
not
do.
Gonna, probably.
You're
Yeah,
inconvenient.
no, I'll think about that.
I don't like. I'll park. I'll go to a gas station, pump my gas, and then walk from my car to the door instead of starting my car, pulling it up. Is that under the same umbrella
yeah,
there?
no,
or
I start
you
my
still
car and I
you pull it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only
if you fill
sometimes.
your gas and have to go in. You fill your gas, move your car, and then
Yeah.
go in.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is.
I care about other people.
That's the one thing I don't do.
got-
I'll leave
as
it
the
there
kids
and be
say,
like,
I just got
it'll
the
be all
ick.
right.
Ugh. I don't know if I want to do this.
So I don't remember how that conversation started with Adam saying, let's talk about the worst people in the world.
Scooter people.
Oh, wow. Talk about a spiral
Able-bodied
there.
scooters people.
So I have some top 5 lists that I've been starting to compile.
Yeah.
Would you like to get into those?
Sure.
Well, you tipped us off on the first one, and now that we have over 200 listeners, round
200
of applause.
million.
Round of
200 million.
applause.
200 million listeners.
Good job, everybody. 200 million listeners. We think we can get anybody. So
Yeah,
we're going to start
yeah.
thinking big.
Yeah, yeah. And with my first person, you might be thinking really big. But
Real quick, I want to get a soundboard at some point for the pod. That way we can do like the NFL draft
Wah,
thing.
wah, wah, wah.
Well, I can do that. If Joe was doing the scooter noise, we could have like a beeping noise.
Mm-hmm.
And then for your top 5, we could do like the dun, 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 or whatever the NFL
draft
noise
is, yeah.
is.
Oh.
I don't think we can use that one.
First off
that
the
one might be
board.
copyrighted.
Yeah, they might have that one.
No, they wouldn't do that.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
they're
Roger
not-
Goodell's a good guy.
they don't love money.
Let me call Raj. I'll call Raj.
So I started to compile these top 5 lists. So this first one, and I would like to, we can have some back and forth with everyone that I have on here because I did not consult you guys at all. But we have had a lot of people saying, oh, bring me on the pod, and we are not ready for guests yet, I don't think.
We
No.
did test it out.
in
Gonna
a
work.
in a
Yeah.
tri- in a trial episode.
We scrapped the whole episode.
We put liquid paper on a bee, and it died. So top 5 future guests.
Where did that come from?
Step Brothers.
Oh, okay.
So top 5 future guests.
Number 1, Barbara Walters.
No.
Stephen
No,
Hawking.
because I still don't really know who that person is.
We did. I got a couple of texts from people being like, "I died laughing at Barbara
Yeah,
Walters."
Number 1.
and Batman. No.
Number 1. Hathor the Mountain Bjornsson, because I think it'd be funny to sit next to him.
I don't think it would
he's
fit in the
huge.
studio.
1-time World's Strongest Man, 2-time Arnold. The guy is a monster.
Okay. All right. He's not in my top 5.
Why?
Get on the pod.
He's huge. He's badass.
I'll only
he's like 6'9", and when he's like competing in the strongman, he's like 480.
What do you want
pounds.
to talk to him about? I would say I would have all Game of Thrones questions.
I just throw things at him to pick him up.
Do we
Hey,
want
go
to
pick up my car.
Do we want to do this like a draft? We want to do like we'll go down like who's your first pick? That'll be your first pick.
Oh well, I have 5 here.
I know,
what?
but we,
You know,
I
no
already made
podcast-
5, Joe.
No podcast has ever done, but we could do kind of like a Mount Rushmore, where we have a topic and
Or-
we do like
or-
a snake draft.
Or rank them without knowing all 5. I've never seen anyone do that before.
I actually don't know what you're referencing right there.
Oh, it would be like I say, I'm gonna give you 5 things. When I give you
I have
one, you
seen
need to
that.
say, yeah.
Yeah. They'll be like Pat Mahomes. And
No.
They go number 2. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
this-
yeah. We're not gonna do that.
Yeah, all right. Well, if we
Next,
were doing
number
that,
2.
if we
You
were
want
doing
number 2?
that, the mountain, 3,500. He's not even close to my list.
He would kill you.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't want him to kill me on the. If he held us up the entire time we were podcasting, I would be in.
If
I
we
think he
put
can.
every
I think he
person
can
that
do
could
that.
kill us in my top 5 people to be on the pod list, it would. I don't. There's so many people that could kill me.
Well, he crushed Oberon's head.
Yeah, he did.
And he did that in real life. That was a real scene.
It's real.
Yeah, it was real.
No people were hurt in the recording of this episode except for Oberon.
But the insurance
is
costs
dead.
on that episode were skyrocketing.
Yeah, yeah. Number 2. Steve Bartman, the guy who got the 2003 foul
He would
ball.
look good with these headphones Adam
Number
got
one.
on.
Number 1. That would be fucking perfect.
Yeah,
That's
Steve
awesome.
Bartman. So he took the ball from my personal favorite player in MLB 2005, Moises Alou.
Do you know why that's Ty's favorite player? I'll give the audience a second to listen. Okay, all your guesses are through. Moises Alou used to piss on his hands instead of wearing batting gloves. Ty used to piss on his hands.
No, I
instead of using
didn't.
hand gloves.
And that
He
was
still
just, and
does
that
to
was just
this
a
day.
daily. That's a daily thing. That's not even a
Yeah,
baseball thing.
If he has to type an email quick, he's like, "Let me go to the bathroom." Then he comes back and he's rifling through that email.
But either way, Steve Bartman, that's a classic thing. I think he had to move out of Chicago because
No.
he swiped that foul ball.
I know. I looked this up recently. Did you watch The Bear?
Yes.
I've seen like an episode
They
or two.
do
Not
season 2.
crazy
They do
about
a
it.
little bit on Bartman, and I had to tell Jordan and a kid I worked with, like, sorry, I used government names.
Government names, no
I had to tell
government
the
names.
intern.
Intern Jordan.
I was like, you guys don't understand how big of a story this was.
Yeah.
It's tough to articulate because it's baseball and like it's not that big, or it's not as big as it was 20
I
years
heard
ago.
baseball.
But he stayed around Chicago and hired security briefly, like people were showing up at his house and stuff. But like didn't really change his life. He just wasn't ever seen again. And when the Cubs won the World Series, they asked him, they were like, would you like to come? They sent him a ring.
Yeah.
They told him to come out. He was gonna like throw the first pitch the next year.
Yeah.
And he was just like, no thank you. Go Cubs. Like that type of thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
He seems like the kind of guy who's not out in the public eye a lot.
I would like to have all the people sitting around him on the pod and just be like, fuck you.
no.
Every one of them jumped for the ball.
Oh,
and then they all turned and threw
I thought
pizza
you
at
said
him.
we were saying fuck you to Steve
No.
Bartman.
No.
Yeah, everyone around him was leaning for it. He just made the snap.
Everyone in that position would.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah,
Unless
it
you were,
happens
like,
all the time. It
Since
happens all the
that
time.
happened, you probably wouldn't. Because you would
Yeah.
be like, I don't want to be Bartman.
Yeah.
And the whole that whole headphone thing's on and all that, like that
Yeah.
plays into it, you know.
So
It's-
Steve Bartman, when you hear this, what's our email?
come on
again?
the pod. Listen at your own risk, 1@gmail.com.
And
Steve
send us a
Bartman-
picture of your foot.
I was just gonna say Steve
So
Bartman
we know
feet
it's
pics
you.
would go so hard.
Number 3.
Can we real quick, Steve Bartman, the headphones thing too? It makes him like he looks like he's such a nerd, and it's sad.
That's why I'm saying he doesn't seem like a guy who gets out.
But he
gets
was
out
just
much.
like a Cubs fan who liked to listen to the radio call.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was a super Cubs fan.
And
yeah.
it was delayed by like 2 seconds, so he like kind of last second.
Yeah,
sees
no
it.
one took that harder than Steve Bartman. That's the saddest part.
I want to give him a
Steve
hug.
Bartman, we're thinking of you. We want you on the pod.
Yeah.
Number 3. Woo! The Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Ric Flair, legend.
You're
Honestly,
all over the place on this
yeah.
list.
Ty, this list is. First, you start with
Just wait
Barbara
till you hear
Walters.
4 and 5.
You start with Barbara Walters.
No, Barbara Walters isn't on here. It's half for appearance.
We want Barbara Walters to interview Ric Flair while the mountain is holding them up and Steve Bartman is listening to it on his
I
headphones.
actually
in the
need to look
corner.
this up. I don't know if Barbara Walters is even still alive.
I don't think that matters.
Yeah, she is. She's on 60 Minutes. Isn't she?
Still?
What? I think
I
she
looked
died.
it up when I was.
No, she died in 2022.
She died 2 years ago. Sorry,
So
Barbara.
that's
Guys,
part of the reason why I
Thoughts
said
and
it would
prayers
be
to your family.
Ty's dream person to walk by would have been Barbara Walters.
Yeah, it would have been weird.
I efforted
Barbara Walters, Tupac, Biggie Smalls, Michael Jackson,
Well,
all of them.
a couple of them could still come
Tom
on the
Petty.
pod, if you know what I mean. A couple of them.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right, number 4.
We didn't talk Ric Flair.
Okay,
Why?
I thought we kind of moved on because Joe was doing other things.
What'd I do?
I just wanted to keep things flowing. That's all.
Yeah, no, I got you. Ric Flair. I like Ric Flair. I think it'd be a cool guy to have on the podcast.
Dude, a wild guy.
Yeah,
Dude, like he was a famous like Playboy when he was like 75.
yeah.
How old is Ric Flair now?
I was just gonna say the same thing. No, I'd say he's closer to 80.
Jamie, look it up.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You can't rob him.
74. All right.
I thought he'd be older.
Well, that just means next year he's gonna get a lot.
It also looks like he has never aged. So he just has always looked like this in my lifetime.
Yeah, when he came out in his undies on WWE when I was watching when I was like 8 years
Saggy
old.
old, yeah.
Yeah,
Saggy
yeah,
old
yeah.
man.
Number 4, Alex Jones.
Oh, God.
Just to get the people going, dude. That guy
It would
is
get some people
electric.
going for sure.
I would think we would get so many listeners if we had Alex Jones.
Well, he's canceled on everything, so I think like even mentioning
This is the perfect place for him to come on.
Yeah, if he went on a podcast that has 200
million.
listeners, that would be a good place to start.
Yeah.
They can't cancel us in time.
No.
They'd be like, what is this pod? We got to do a background search on all these guys. Oh, God, we got to arrest Ty. was he
No,
doing?
we don't want to do that.
What was he
We don't
doing
wanna
in
do that.
January
I
of
learned
2020?
my lesson when I was younger. No more arresting. But so Alex Jones, if you hear this, send a picture of your foot to
Listen at your own risk 1@gmail.com.
It wouldn't
Yeah.
shock me if he only had like 3 toes.
Yeah.
What?
Like, he just gotta have weird feet. Alex Jones, nothing? All right.
I
Next.
don't. Yeah. That's
If
not
we had
good.
Alex
I
Jones
thought
on
that
the
was
pod,
I thought that was a diabetes joke, and I thought that was sick.
No, I don't make diabetes jokes on this podcast except for
You
like
did
on
earlier.
this podcast.
You did earlier.
if we had Alex Jones on one side of the table and every time he said like they're turning the frogs gay, and Ric Flair on the other side just going woo, just over and over, that would.
All right, so maybe you want me to throw number 5 at you to add to your little banter here.
Is it Mr. Donald J. Trump?
Greta Thunberg.
That would be a hell of a round table we would
Yeah,
have here.
Alex Jones and Greta Thunberg alone, right?
with Ric Flair moderating,
Yeah, and then
God.
Hafthor Bjornsson,
ready to break it up.
Who's number 2? Oh,
Barbara Walters.
Steve Bartman.
Steve Bartman.
And Steve Bartman listening to the
He's,
podcast.
he's
was
producing. He's producing in the corner with his headphones
like,
on.
oh my god, that would be a great role for him.
Would be.
Great. Can we,
Yeah.
can we put him on the tapestry behind us?
Who?
Steve Bartman.
Oh, yeah, Steve Bartman.
Put some stands.
If you hear us, send us a picture of your foot
Yeah.
so we know it's you.
Please.
And Joe also uses those for personal reasons.
Yeah.
We did have one foot pick come in. Again, we're not supposed to use government names here, but much appreciated. Thank you. Thank
Gross.
you. None of us have access to Gmail except for Joe, but
Yeah,
Joe
I
did see
haven't
them.
signed.
We
it
did
yet.
say send feet pics to Ty via text, and instead I got feet pics via Gmail, and it was less than ideal. But you
And
know,
now in our outro song, spoiler alert,
Da, 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 da.
it says send your pics to Joe.
Yeah.
So
so there you go.
dream come true for you, Joe.
Way to
Congratulations,
spoil.
buddy.
Way to spoil the outro, Ty.
Do you
We're
have
gonna be excited
honorable
about that.
mentions?
No, I don't, but I'd be open to you guys telling me some.
You
honorable
came up with just 5. They were the wildest 5
No,
ever.
I was deleting them like they're back and
You
forth.
shouldn't have. Honorable mentions.
Steve-O was on there.
Oh,
Like
he's
Steve-O would be a good one.
Steve would be good, yeah, for any podcast.
Yeah. Trump, of course.
Kick Joe in the nuts randomly.
Yeah.
Steve-O.
Oh
I
God.
know Apple watching the pod. Remember last time he almost ruined the whole podcast?
I did, yeah. Every time I'm on here, I almost ruin the whole podcast.
That
Or
is
make
true.
it.
That is true.
So, have I told you guys about the pennies yet?
You told us, not the pod. We'll listen.
So, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd like to say if anybody in the first 40 seconds of what he's about to say thinks, oh, I'm not listening to this type of podcast, just hear him out. Just
Yeah.
just
No,
hear him
I'm
out.
not getting political here. It starts
Yeah.
political, but it's not actually political.
He's trying to keep his comments to a minimum.
Yeah, so originally I wanted to talk about this, and Adam said, no, absolutely not. That's not our lane. And I said, but this is what I did. And he said, oh, maybe. So now I just threw it out here, as you guys can see. And Adam and Joe are now pretty dumbfounded that I'm going on with this. But I want to talk about the Trump indictment.
Oh God. Here we go.
So I don't want to take too long, because obviously every news outlet is talking about this.
See, if I had a soundboard, I could play like the Jeopardy theme song behind him right now. Like the final Jeopardy one, and then once it's over, it's like, you're done.
No.
And then I'd
no.
have, like,
So,
the
Of
the
course, they're
math
talking about it a
equations.
lot. Put cloth over your eyes about another $95 million that they're trying to wash in the Ukraine. But that's a different thing. But Trump is facing 91 felony accounts, so that's going to clog up the court system for a pretty long time. He's going to pay $363.9 million plus a 9% interest rate for a total of $464 million.
Chump
And-
change.
Yeah, that is chump change.
Does he not have it?
No, it's
That-
Trump.
that's
Trump
Trump
change.
change.
Trump change.
Oh, nice.
So it had me thinking, you know when you always see those people who get like a bullshit speeding ticket or bullshit parking ticket and they go in with a wheelbarrow and they pay it in pennies? So I was thinking if Trump paid this in pennies. So it made me think, okay, so that's $464 million. That's 46.4 billion pennies. That's a lot of pennies. It is always crazy when you think billions and how those numbers come into play. So that is 144,304,000 tons of pennies.
Which, I mean, I'd love to see all those pennies melted down and see how many statues of liberty we can
We already
make
went over that.
Is that
50,000. 50,000.
Is that tons just in number or by weight? Like, is that weight of the pennies?
Yeah.
Or are
Weight
you
of the
saying,
pennies.
like,
That's
weight
what
of
the measurement
pennies.
of tons is.
What else would it be?
Well, yeah, but you could say, like, I have 1 ton. I guess, yeah, it's always.
I have 1 ton of copper.
You could say that it's. I
weight.
feel like that
It's
number.
still
ended up
2,000
being-
pounds.
I feel like that number ended up being the monetary value divided by 2,000.
No.
So I was just wondering if that was like.
No. It's the
I see what you're
weight
saying.
of
I
the
see where you're
penny.
going with
Okay,
that.
okay.
So that's 144,304,000 tons of pennies. The average dump truck payload, want to take a guess?
No.
32 pounds. I'm playing into it.
British pounds.
Yeah.
What is it, a Tonka truck?
I'm gonna guess 4,000 pounds.
14 tons is the average payload on a dump truck. So that would be 10,307 dump truck loads.
A dump
That-
truck can carry 14 tons of weight.
Yeah.
Are
They
those
probably-
like the industrial size. Dump
No,
trucks?
like I was gonna do like the mining ones that are huge.
Yeah.
But those are like hundreds of tons.
You got to think, though, a lot of that's probably based off of the towing capacity of the truck.
No,
and
not towing. How much you would fit in the dump?
No, I know that.
Joe,
But
I did my research.
I'm just saying, they give you that number based off of probably what the truck can tow and what the hydraulics can actually dump.
Well, yeah. Either
But still,
way,
if you
we
loaded
need to-
that- if
either
you
way,
loaded
we
that
need
up.
to get these
Yeah,
pennies to wash.
yeah,
so
they're
as
getting
much
there.
as we can get in there is what we need.
You think this is gonna bog down the court systems? Imagine if they pass a weigh station that's open on the highway on the way
Oh,
there.
God, forget it.
So
Like,
that
oh,
is
God.
10,307,000 dump truck loads
oh, my God.
that they're just gonna dump on the White House front lawn.
And
So
who's
it-
driving that truck?
Well, who's counting the pennies?
How much
Hunter
space would that
Biden
take?
with a few 8 balls, I think, can count all those pennies.
They go right in his pocket. Am I right, Ty?
Yeah.
A couple
And filter those out to
100,000
the
pennies?
prostitutes that he loves,
Oh, Jesus.
But either way, I
This is
wanted to try.
derailed.
I didn't want to get political, but I wanted to try and go down that route because
That
I.
was as minimal politicalness as you could have done there.
You're
And I'm-
welcome.
and I'm proud of you.
You're welcome.
We
No
didn't
problem.
we didn't get on anything to do with Adam and I bringing up who we'd want on the podcast. We just heard Ty's top 5.
Yeah.
Well,
Sometimes this
it-
feels like the Ty show.
Well, you guys should have just made your own top 5 then, because
You
I
didn't
came
really tell
prepared.
us.
I could go off. I could go off the cuff. Stone
Okay.
Cold Steve
Cool.
Austin,
Joe,
number 1.
Joe, you want to do a snake draft?
I
between
have
me and you?
Stone. See, the weird thing is I have Stone Cold Steve Austin on another one of my top 5 lists that I prepared. If you want me to go through that.
No,
list.
I don't. I
No,
don't.
we
I
can
don't.
Save those.
But Stone Cold on this podcast, I mean, we would have to
He
lay a
might be too
tarp
cool
down.
for us.
We'd have
He might
to.
be
He
too cool.
definitely is.
You don't think he's kind
Spoiler
of
alert
Like
on
he
Ty's next top 5 list.
Fuck you, Adam.
No, I'm just wondering if you found out that Stone Cold Steve Austin was not a good person, you wouldn't be surprised. And it's because he played a bad person character for so
He
long.
played a heel.
No, he played a bad
was
boy.
A heel.
He played a bad boy.
Bad boys. Bad.
Yeah,
I'll take
he
Will
wasn't.
Smith.
No, he wasn't a heel.
No.
Like a heel in like JBL. Remember JBL?
Yeah, JBL,
He was a
fucking with his
heel in
limousine with the
WWE.
fucking
Yeah, with
longhorn on the front.
the longhorn. And who was his manager?
Uh,
Or he was the manager.
Paul
Heyman?
Heyman.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was like,
Yeah.
wasn't he the Undertaker's like manager before that or something?
After, I don't know.
something
My
like
wrestling, I used to
Yeah,
watch some
me
of it.
too.
but
It's
play
it's
the video
foggy.
games and stuff.
dude. Sometimes I'll just go on
Did
YouTube.
we ever?
I'll just go on YouTube. I'll put in like 2003 Royal Rumble.
Oh.
You just fucking have a good time watching it. It's hilarious.
Who's next? Who's next?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
John
They
Cena's
just come
music.
running out. You're like, fuck yeah.
Booyaka, booyaka.
Yeah.
619.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Shout
So
out
those-
Jason Kelsey
You
with
see your
the,
glass shatter. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
with his fucking knee braces and jean shorts. Fucking stone
Alright.
cold.
His pump up Reeboks.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite wrestler when you were little? I
John
probably-
Cena.
Cena?
John-
Really?
Easy.
Rey
yeah.
Mysterio was my favorite.
Shawn Michaels for sure.
I loved Rey Mysterio.
Shawn Michaels. I like that. I don't love it as your
Just-
favorite.
I actually
Some
did.
Sweet
I did
Chin
too.
music?
I loved him
I'm
too.
sexy.
My other two
No, it's,
R.A.P.
you
both.
think I'm cute.
You
I
know
know
I'm
I'm
sexy, or I know I'm
I've
sexy.
been
Yeah.
singing it wrong for
Yeah.
how old am I?
Eddie
my God, that
Guerrero,
was a Tyler movie
Eddie
there.
Guerrero, and Chris Benoit were two of my favorites.
Yeah,
and
I'm well aware of how much you love and support Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit's-
R.I.P. Both of them are dead.
Yeah, and Chris Benoit did not go out.
No, he went out in a blaze
bang.
of fucking.
It was a double murder. It was suicide.
I think it was a triple.
Yeah.
Oh.
He killed his kid and his wife.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Joe.
Well, I'm just saying who my favorites were at the
Is
time.
that
They
your
were
second
great.
pick for
All right, and there was episode 4. Thanks, Joe. Bang.
Well, if you have Ric Flair and you have Stone Cold, I'll take the Undertaker.
No more. No, we can't have WWE fighters. Isn't it WWE?
If this podcast turned into a live Royal Rumble, that would do numbies.
Shady
Especially
McCoy.
if we have Halfdoor Bjornsson.
Shady McCoy.
You'd have Shady McCoy on the pod.
I think he'd be hysterical. You ever hear him on other podcasts?
No.
He's funny.
I remember when he spoiled the Avengers.
Yeah.
Remember that?
yes.
went
He
and saw
talks
it the
about
first
that.
day.
He
It was
talks
just
about
like-
that on the podcast too. Could talk about it on our podcast. Could spoil something else.
I wasn't a huge Shady McCoy fan because in Madden he was like an 86 speed, and that just doesn't do
Bullshit.
it for me in Madden.
He was
That's
better
slow.
than that. Yeah, no, it's bull. He should have been.
Yeah, that
fast.
was slow for him. I'll give him that.
He was a receiving
He was a
back.
good
He'd catch
back.
a swing pass and fucking take off.
Really agile, more than fast. Right? Like he wasn't like Jamal Charles, but like Shady could shake some tackles.
All right, let's.
Yeah, I mean he was beat when he was down in Tampa though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would take
Yeah, he
OJ
was at the
Simpson on
end.
the pod just for my first pick.
All
I
right,
think
let's
we already
go.
talked about that. And we can
talk
make
about
that
OJ.
happen.
Yeah, I would
We
like
talk
to.
about OJ a lot.
I think I could get him to confess.
Yeah,
God.
At some point, he's gonna be old enough. He's just gonna be like, "Yeah, I did it."
yeah.
Um,
Where else but do it? But listen at your own risk.
What about so let's each pick a person, like a heel of a person, people that somebody that's not popular in the public eye.
And we just want to like justify them as.
Yeah, we just want to talk to him. We just want to bring it up.
Kim
Donald
Jong
Trump,
Un.
Vladimir Putin.
Just have all the worst world leaders on the pod.
Just want to clear the air.
Oh, you're gonna drop a nuke? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, do it.
You won't.
Yeah.
It's
These
like
have
Tucker
romance.
Carlson
These are
having
short.
on. Tucker Carlson had on Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, Ty's boy, Tucker Carlson.
Yeah,
Sure.
dude loves ends too.
Sure.
All right, not bad. I don't know who mine would be. I was thinking in a totally different direction than what you guys said.
Casey Anthony.
That's more the direction I think I was going.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Like not really political figures. That's a whole different story.
But
But
she's like the worst person
Yeah,
on the planet.
Charles Manson.
allegedly, Adam, she didn't get charged.
Is he
Dead.
dead? Is he
I
dead?
think he's dead. I think he died recently. Jamie, look at
I was thinking Marilyn Manson.
Stop saying that.
I was thinking Marilyn
Marilyn
Manson.
Manson got
I'm like,
canceled recently.
I'm like, what? I'm like, he wasn't that bad of a guy. He just was known for like taking a couple ribs out.
He did get
But
blamed for
Charles
that.
Manson, definitely not a good guy.
Yeah.
Charles Manson?
Yeah.
He's not a bad guy. He just makes wild music.
He did make wild music. He was
Dude, people
best-
make worse music than Charles Manson.
What are we
You're
talking?
thinking of Marilyn Manson.
You said Charles
Oh,
Manson.
wait, yeah, no, wait, you said Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, I said for some reason I was
I
thinking.
crossed them.
Yeah, I was thinking you were
Oh,
talking about Marilyn.
Charles, sorry, I'm yelling. Charles Manson was
Yeah,
a bad guy.
Your buddy
Yeah.
Charlie was
yeah,
a bad
Charles
guy.
Manson was bad.
Chuck,
Marilyn Manson.
Chuck
you're
was
all
not
right.
good. Chuck
Charles
was not a
Manson
good guy.
did make music though, and it's not bad. He was really good friends with some. I think it was a dude from the Beach Boys or the Eagles. I forget, but like he was recording with him, and then he was like, "You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna do a cult."
There's
Cult sounds better.
you know what though?
Makes more
Actually,
money.
I was listening to Spotify on my flight to Florida, and actually made me think of this.
Wait, do you get more chicks as a cult leader or a rock star?
That's actually a hell of a question.
That is a hell of a
The only way
question.
to find out is-
That's the same question as there are more doors or windows in the world.
Yeah.
Did you do that?
I don't know the answer to that one. That's a very good question.
That's like a common like Google or Deloitte question. Imagine if on their like entry exam for the interview they were like, "Do you get more chicks as a cult leader?" Or we just want to see your thought process on how you figure that out.
Like, I want to say that it's rock star, but I bet it's one of those things that would just blindside you. That's cult leader.
100%.
No, it's got to be wrong.
But one thing I was thinking of, now that you brought up the Eagles, Adam, I thought about this. This is totally off topic. But I was thinking about the song Hotel California, which you've said,
Not a huge fan.
Living it
you've
up
said,
in a hotel
you've told me, I think,
California.
that
Was that
it's
the right
not
lyrics?
even close to one of the best songs out there.
Yeah, I like to exaggerate when I talk about it. I don't love the song.
I think I just love the guitar in it. I love, like, the lyrics of it. Yeah, I got you there. The lyrics of it's kind of weird, but, like, I don't listen to songs. Ty, you can attest to this. I don't listen.
I have no idea what songs are.
I don't listen to songs for the lyrics. I'm listening to it
Explain songs
if it's
to
like
Ty.
making me feel good.
Talk
And
slowly. Explain songs to Ty.
words and sounds.
Okay.
I do both of those.
Yeah. I can make it.
That's it.
I said.
Did I just make a song?
I said words and sounds, and you decided to go. Ah!
If I had to do a serious list, it's got to be top 5 or 10. But like Desperado is so good.
Oh, I love that song. Yeah, no, I agree. But I just remember you saying that you got into an argument with somebody about
That doesn't
Hotel
sound
California.
Like me. That just does not sound like me.
About Hotel California. And I was listening to it. I'm like, I still really like this song, and I don't know what Adam's gripe is against it, but I do love Desperado more. So I will say that's the better Eagles song.
And there's more. I'm just not really
The
thinking.
Eagles
Take It Easy.
sing Hotel California?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take It Easy is fantastic.
There was one time I was at a local bar that I play volleyball at, and there used to be a touch tunes there, and this girl was going up to the touch tunes, and I had the app on my phone, and I kept putting on the Eagles. And somebody was like, why do you keep playing Hotel California? She's like, it's not fucking me. And I kept like jumping her in priority. I was paying the extra credit for it.
Yeah, that's,
and
like,
she's
that's
like,
the best $40 you'll ever spend.
100%. She
Yeah.
turned around to the people she was with. She's like, I fucking hate the Eagles. And I was pissing myself laughing in the corner.
Go Birds.
Oh, it was such a good time.
You want to hear something crazy? I
would
was
love
at an
to.
In-N-Out Burger last week.
That's
And
crazy.
like a group of like 15 people walk in, and there was one guy that was taking a video of them. They clearly looked famous, and in my head I was kind of just like, oh, you know, like an influencer's in the wild thing. Turns out it was a famous mariachi band from Mexico. Yeah, yeah, special edition they're called. Shout out special edition if you come on the pod. I saw
They're
you at
huge.
In-N-Out last week. I just said like, what up to you guys? Nice job.
Last time I
Well
was at
done.
In-N-Out,
I
I
was
saw a
looking at-
famous person too.
I was looking at a lot of their music though. It's pretty good.
You know the
Very
guy
talented guys.
from, have you seen Armageddon?
Yeah, it's he's Cower in Longest Yard, right?
The warden?
No, not the
but
warden.
yeah.
He's like the head
Yeah, I
guy.
saw
He's a
that guy.
quarterback, right?
Yeah, he's like-
Oh, yeah.
He's like a that guy. Like he's like, nobody knows his name,
Mhm.
but I've seen
But he's in
him
a lot of
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah.
him in 20 movies as like the 5th most famous guy.
Yeah.
That's just who he is. And
Yep.
he just like walked up to us and was like, "Are you guys in line?" And I was like, "No, you can pass us." Like nobody. Like it's a perfect level of fame. So he probably has plenty of money, does whatever he wants.
Oh,
and
yeah.
can go to an In-N-Out Burger and no one's gonna be like, "Oh, I want
He
a
should
picture
just
with that guy."
She just yells at him, be like, Crew!
Oh yeah, Crew. That's what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, but Crew
Oh no,
is
yeah,
Adam
Crew.
Sandler.
Crew
is
is
Adam
Adam Sandler. He's got the gun
Yeah,
in there.
he didn't want to shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
Shoot him!
On the topic of sports, just a brief discussion. NBA trade deadline.
Adam, we've been told that we don't do good when we go in sports.
This is not
That's
going
not
to be
our
a sports
field.
conversation. Hang with us, but I love the NBA trade deadline. Total dud this year. Nothing famous. Nobody famous traded. Like a lot of okay moves. So I went back in history and I found some famous trades. And I just want to pitch some by you and stay on that topic and see what we can do with modern day things. So I had a big list. I'm going to trim it down this time. Starting with Babe Ruth.
Yep.
Babe Ruth traded for $100,000 to finance a play.
Yes.
Is there any athlete today or play today that you
That
think
you
would be
would
a fair
trade for
trade?
$100,000.
No,
Wicked.
'cause I don't know what that is in today's money. It's probably a shit ton. Right?
100,000?
Yeah,
And-
those inflation calculators online, I don't think ever do it because everybody always says you could buy like a gallon of milk for 2 cents back then.
No, but what was Babe Ruth's contract? Like, what was he getting paid
I
back
think
then?
he ended up making like $1 million a year for the Yankees.
Did he? That's an insane amount of money.
I'll look that up if you guys want to discuss.
I feel like it's less than that. I feel like he was less than $1 million. No? Babe
I don't
Ruth
know, I
back
wasn't
then?
around back then.
Come on, Ty.
like if 2014 we flipped Jacoby Ellsbury for Hamilton.
That wasn't 2014.
Well, he didn't get traded for a play, so it could be whenever. When did
Oh.
who was like an up and coming player on the Sox back then, and would you have traded him for Hamilton? Kevin
No,
Youkilis?
Ellsbury was gone in 2013. He didn't win one in 2013.
Not sure.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he won in 2007. He didn't win in 2013.
Oh, yeah, right, because that's when he stole the base to get the free tacos at Taco Bell. It was in 2007.
Yeah, he was gone in 2013.
I agree. I think,
Yeah, because Bogarts was up then. But Bogarts, he was playing in the postseason that year.
Yeah.
I was wildly off on Babe Ruth. He made $70,000 a year.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was like $1 million.
Today money?
No, back
No,
then,
no,
$70,000.
What's that today money?
Well, look at we'll use our own inflation. So the best player in the league, we'll say Shohei or Mike Trout. What are they making a year?
40, 50 million.
Yeah. So
No, Shohei's making like $3 million a year.
okay,
Cash.
sure. Yes. Okay, but so they're technically making like 30, 40 million a year, right? So factor it that way. Call it 500 times. Is that what that math would be?
What?
No,
500 times what?
70,000.
No,
No, it's
it's 5,000. That
No,
it might be
500.
500.
500 times.
It's just us doing math and live.
70,000 times 500 is $3.5 million.
No, it's
No, it's not.
$35
Fuck,
million.
that's 50.
Yeah, it's,
Fuck you, Joe.
Our
Yeah,
eyes
I was gonna say. I'm like, I thought I had that right. So, all right. So, who's making? So, I guess that's.
But we don't know that's not the inflation.
But he was-
stop
he-
smashing your beer on the table.
He probably should have been the highest paid player in the MLB then.
Babe Ruth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if he's making $35 million a year. So all right, whatever. Go with Mike Trout when he was up and coming
Mike
Mike
Trout for
Trout's what-
Hamilton.
Mike Trout's what? 450 mil.
for
All right, so
overall
we're making a
contract.
trade.
But we're saying he probably
Yeah,
makes
but-
40. I think he makes 40 million a
But
year.
no one. So you have to say that team owns Hamilton. Who owns Hamilton?
It would be the Angels in this case. Oh, who
Well,
owns
no,
it right
who
now?
owns it? Who's he getting
The
traded?
guy
to?
who wrote it.
No, I know.
three
It's the
names.
guy who writes a bunch of Disney movies too.
Yeah.
Talented guy.
But
But,
can you imagine if a team did that in real life? It was like, no, I'm just going to go do this thing. Now, the Babe Ruth play was not a success, but if you did have a success and you were like, yo, we traded this guy who was going to be pretty good, but we made $200 million, we're going to pour it all back into the team.
Right.
Would people riot? Or would they, yes.
Oh,
would.
right.
Yeah.
So like that would be like before Hamilton was big, they traded Mike Trout for Hamilton,
Yeah.
and Hamilton grossed $10 billion.
Yeah, it's
Right.
probably not that much. But yeah, if the Angels were
Yeah,
like,
so
look,
then they have $10 billion to spend in free agency. Yeah, so it makes sense, and that's what.
that's, well, I
But
don't-
that's what the Red Sox wanted to do.
Yeah, that's
They
what
did-
that's what
they
the goal
did
was.
not.
They did
Yeah.
not do that.
back then I don't think sports
And then he
teams
threw
were
a
like business.
piano case at the bottom of the Charles River.
Babe Ruth?
Yeah, the curse on the Red Sox? Come on, man.
I thought it was just because they traded him.
No, he threw a piano case at the bottom of the river and said, "The Red Sox will never win a World Series." Arr! And then, and then
Boy,
when the
don't
clock
get
struck midnight in
Ty, you
2004.
make me scratch my arm. I'm getting the itch right now. I'm ready to roll. Yar.
Yarr.
The best curse was, I think the Cubs, maybe it was the White Sox. I'm pretty sure it was the Cubs. Was the
Curse of the Billy Goat.
The goat, yeah.
That's the
somebody,
Cubs.
Somebody showed up to the stadium with their pet Billy Goat, and they weren't allowed in. And he was like, "This is bullshit. I'm cursing this team."
Guess
And
what? It worked.
they didn't win for 100 years.
They won in what, 2006?
Later, I
The
think.
White Sox?
The Cubs. It was a Cubs.
Oh, the Cubs.
Yeah.
I think. I don't
The
know.
White Sox.
It was
won in
definitely the
2006.
Cubs. The Cubs were
White
because
Sox definitely won. in
Ken Griffey
2006.
Jr. was on that team, remember?
I don't remember.
I
that.
don't
He
remember
was. He was washed up on that team. AJ Brzezinski, Paul
I never.
Konerko,
I didn't even remember
Carlos Lee.
that Ken Griffey Jr. played on the White Sox.
Yeah, he
Now
won
we're
the World
going.
Series in
Now we're going
2006.
too deep into sports talk.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you're right.
Let me
you're
bring
right.
this back with a trade from the Yankees, 1972. Have you guys heard of Mike Kekich and Fritz Peterson?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
weren't
there's
those
the
two
guys-
who traded their wives? They
It
traded
is
like
the
their
two
lives,
guys.
I think.
Yes, they not only traded lives with each other. Great call, Ty. This is what you pay for on our Patreon, which will be uploaded. They swapped dogs, they swapped kids, they swapped houses, and they swapped their wives. Which two athletes do you think should trade wives right now?
It's a full-on Freaky
Patrick
Friday for them.
Mahomes and
Gronk.
no, Gronk
Who-
doesn't have kids.
Not Gronk. I meant Kelsey. Who wins that trade? Brittany Kelsey or
No, it
Brittany
would be
Mahomes
Kelsey. We're allowed,
and
man.
Taylor Swift dating Patrick Mahomes? Who wins that
No,
trade?
no, I don't want to do Kelsey in this. I want a realistic one. I think it's got to be Patrick
That
Mahomes
seemed realistic.
and LeBron James.
Savannah.
Because then you got Bronny Jr. and then Bryce.
And then,
Oh.
and
I
then
think he has a daughter too.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes
Did you
is
say
winning.
that with such
I think Patrick
disgust?
Mahomes.
I
Is,
think he does.
I think
LeBron
Patrick
does.
Mahomes is winning that trade just because LeBron's got to deal with Jackson Mahomes now, which is just
No,
a
you're not
problem.
changing his brother.
Changed his whole life.
Oh,
Yeah, that's how it went.
Isn't that what we're doing?
That's what we're doing.
I don't know if they have a dog, and so we're gonna give them the
No, I
brother
know for a
instead.
fact they have two dogs with their stupid names. The
LeBron.
Mahomeses.
Mahomesy. Mahomes as
Mahomers.
I don't know. I respect LeBron. I think he's a good dad.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah, when everyone's giving offers to his kids when they're like 8 years old, he was like, "No, leave my kids alone. They're
Yeah.
just playing sports. They're having fun being kids."
Like, I don't want to be known as LeBron James' son. What's his name?
LeBron James Jr.
That's
Nice.
it's tough.
Go
it
work,
must
pal.
be tough to be like an absolute wonderkind at like 12 years old.
Well, Marcus Jordan, he was playing at where, like Florida
UCF,
State?
I think.
UCF.
Yeah, he wasn't very good.
Yeah, he wasn't.
But I mean, like
no,
LeBron
but now he's dating Scottie Pippen's
They broke
ex-wife. Oh, they broke up.
Yeah.
What about
broke
Snoop
up.
Dogg Jr.? Remember him? He was playing college football. I
Oh,
don't
really?
know what his son's real name was. Yeah,
He
he played.
Diddy's kid did too.
Yeah,
He played-
Jerry Rice's kid was at USC this year.
Snoop Dogg Jr.
Snoop Dogg Jr. That's definitely not his name.
That could
What's
be.
Snoop Dogg's real name?
SDJ.
I don't know. I have no
It's
idea.
like,
That's why I said Snoop Dogg Jr.
Either his name or his kid's name is like Cordavius or something like that. That sounds. I don't know. Keep it going. Snoop Dogg. Real
All
name.
right, give us another trade. Adam.
Yeah,
now
I think
that
you-
LeBron and Patrick Mahomes are traded, I don't think LeBron would. I think LeBron has a pretty good life. He's pretty pumped about it. Because LeBron married his high school sweetheart too, right?
Yeah, Savannah.
Yeah,
She's cool too.
dude. Real talk, LeBron,
We'll talk. Come on the pod.
good guy.
Come on the pod.
Come on the pod, LeBron. Come on the pod.
Snoop Dogg's name is Calvin Cordozar Broadus Jr. So you would be talking about C3, not Snoop Dogg Jr.
Gotcha.
All right, next one.
C3PO.
Give us a trade, Adam.
Next trade. This is a WNBA trade. It was highly publicized.
Next trade.
A lot
Adam.
of people had a lot of discussions, even outside of sports radio, on just who won this trade.
Is this who I think it is?
It was Brittany Griner for the Merchant of Death.
Oh!
Yeah, I'll take one of those. And I want to say, Ty, I know what you're thinking. Russia won the trade.
Yeah, Russia won the trade for sure.
Brittany Griner's averaging 17 points, 7 boards, 3 blocks.
What's the other guy?
So not even a
Merchant of
double-double
Death?
for the Merchant of Death?
The Merchant of Death isn't averaging shit. What has he done?
Russia
Not
has
dunking.
space nukes now, Adam.
If you could tell me he's directly responsible for that, I will reconsider.
Why would
But
they
right
have brought
now-
him back if he wasn't?
I don't know. He can't dunk.
All right, hear me out. Trade back.
Brittany Griner's 6'7" and can barely dunk.
She's 6'9".
Is she 6'9"?
She's 6'9".
So they would never take this trade back. So we're gonna have to add a little bit on the American side.
Okay.
Honest Abe with Brittany Griner for Merchant of Death.
No,
Why? Who says no? Who says no?
America, because the Merchant of Death is worth way more than Brittany Griner and Honest Abe from 3.
That's what I'm saying. We're getting back the Merchant of Death. They're getting
Oh.
Honest Abe and Brittany Griner.
Oh,
So
okay.
We
no,
have to
no,
add.
flesh
We
this
have to
out, flesh this
supplement
out.
our what?
We take the Merchant of Death. We put it back in custody.
Okay.
They take Brittany Griner, put her back in custody. I'm already
Correct.
out on that. She
Yep.
had a weed
Brittany
pen.
Griner didn't have fun in custody.
No, all she had was a weed pen. They were like, "We're just gonna keep you because you're famous." They get Abe Lincoln now. Do
And
we
Lincoln
lose
now?
do
So
we
Abe Lincoln's
lose-
just like, where am I?
Yeah. Do we lose Abe Lincoln from the 1800s?
No, he's already done his due diligence here.
So he's chill.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
okay.
that
so
was a big one.
we already cleared that up. Now he's
Emancipation Proclamation's already
correct.
over.
That's
Yeah.
signed. He's now
gonna say that-
he's finished his presidency. Now he's over in Russia with Brittany Griner, and he's got to figure out the world.
but he's,
downstream
no, but
effects
he's in jail or in Russia.
No.
Yeah.
They're not imprisoning him.
Pootie's imprisoning
Why?
him.
Why wouldn't they?
No, that's a good point. They're not imprisoning him. They're shooting him the second he comes back. He's toast.
No. They're gonna take him on as a consultant to try and mediate everything.
The
Yeah,
learning
because that's how
curve?
Putin works,
The
right?
learning curve.
I don't
from
know,
the
I've never talked to him.
1800s to
I'm not Tucker
2020s.
Carlson.
Yeah, Putin, come on the pod.
Yeah, what is Abraham Lincoln doing today if he comes back? Because it's realistically, I wasn't going to say this, but it's
I
probably-
just had
probably
a
online
funny
porn
thought
the
when
whole
I
time.
said that. When I said Putin, come on the pod.
Yeah.
You know the movie with Seth Rogen and James Franco?
Yes,
When
the interview.
Yeah, the interview. Where
They tried to get it not aired.
when they go to South Korea or North Korea. What if us three go to Russia and interview Putin?
I think you're talking about Tucker Carlson again.
Oh, did
Tuck-
he do
Tuck-
that?
He just did it.
Oh, I missed it.
Tucker interviewed him, and they did.
No, Ty missed it.
Oh,
I did, dude. I did. I didn't see.
they
that.
had earpieces in to translate for him. So like while they were talking, it was translating in their ear.
Yeah, typical American expects a Russian guy to speak English.
No, he didn't. because the Russian guy spoke Russian back, and Tucker Carlson stared at him like this. I'm like, he doesn't understand a word he's saying. He's just staring at the guy. Like, good points.
Putin doesn't speak English.
I know. They had translators in their ears.
There's no way
that's
he
what they
doesn't
do at the
speak
UN.
English.
He spoke in English.
Why would he?
He doesn't speak fluent English like we do.
Yeah. Why would he? Why would you go to his country and expect him to speak English?
I'm not saying that, but he definitely does speak English.
I don't know if he does.
Me either. I'm just saying.
I'm not as close.
Let's get him on the pod.
Part
Let's
of
get
the
Putin
pod.
on the
That's
pod.
That's how this started. Was I said to bring.
I have an idea. We should get Vladimir Putin on the pod. Have you thought about that?
Oh, actually, and why not? Get a little bundle there and bring on Kim Jong Un too.
And Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, and we will solve all the world's
We will
problems.
solve the world problem. We'll feed them.
We'll get a 24 pack of Corona.
Hey, I'll tell you what. We'll feed them some of that fucking burrito place that you ordered from, and they'll be feeling good.
What would that was a good burrito. What would be the most shocking thing Abe Lincoln had to get used to?
iPhones.
You think so?
Nuclear bombs,
Ooh, plumbing.
I don't think nuclear bomb.
Indoor plumbing.
Yeah.
indoor electricity.
No, they still had it. It just wasn't as efficient.
What about electricity?
Electricity, I think, missed him by a bit.
Well,
right?
when was he? Like 18, like 1820-ish? 1823 to 1827 was it Abraham Lincoln?
I don't know.
Should I know this? I probably should, right? Abe Lincoln.
You know, it's a saying I like a joke.
He died in 60. Oh no, he was president in the 60s.
Yeah, and he died as president.
1860s. Not JFK. 60s.
Did he die when he was president?
You know, it's a funny line that I always laugh at when
It's a hell of a
somebody
point.
says. Somebody goes, "Besides that, how was the play, Mrs. Lincoln?"
I've been in the room that Abe Lincoln died in.
What was the name of the theater?
Ford.
Ty,
yeah.
this is a conspiracy theory you need to get.
And Kennedy was shot.
Kennedy was his Secretary of State, and then Kennedy was
I've
his
seen
secretary or
it.
something.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Kennedy's secretary was named Lincoln, all that stuff.
And it was
Both got
the murderers and their names, something,
John Wilkes Booth,
and then whoever the other
Lee
guy
Harvey
was.
Oswald,
Yeah,
who looks just like Brock Purdy.
he does.
Just like Brock Purdy.
He does. So that's a good trade. I think we go back to the Lincoln Brittany Griner trade.
What else you got, Adam?
No, I just think back to Lincoln. I just feel like you couldn't get him to focus in today's world, right?
What?
Because it would be like, he would have to watch Succession and Game of Thrones and all that stuff just to get back to modern day stuff. Like, people would make all kinds of references around him to be like, do you like this? He would probably think all music is awful now, right? if he comes back to life and he hears WAP, he's just like,
God.
what is going on?
Yeah, he'd
Reminds
be
me of
sitting there
Mary Todd.
with his headphones on. He's like, "What is this?" He'd be fucking swiping, like you said, playing Candy Crush.
With Tinder? You think he'd get Tinder?
100%.
Yeah, he'd slay on Tinder.
He would slay on, dude. Imagine all the influencers trying to get with Abraham Lincoln. I'm good on trade ideas. Unless you guys
He
wanna
was
hear
6'4".
Yeah.
I thought he was shorter than that just because of the times. But
Yeah, but
he was-
they thought he was like a freak though. They thought like it would be like someone being like 9 feet.
That's a
tall.
handsome man.
No, he's
and
not.
an honest man.
Honest man.
I think he was known for being ugly.
Was he? I don't
You know
know.
what, listeners, write in.
Yeah,
Let us
right.
know how good looking.
Let us know
Hot
what you
or
think.
not?
Hot or
Abe
not.
Lincoln. Abe Lincoln.
Swipe right or swipe left on Abe?
I do.
If
okay.
you didn't know that he was the 16th president of the United States, would you?
Yeah,
know?
he's 6'4". You would get every girl to swipe right.
Yeah, you know,
Right. Yeah, that's true.
you know how many Instagram videos we would see of girls being like, "All I want is a 6'4" guy who could run
Super
a country,
honest.
who's freed the slaves, and that's all I'm looking for."
Yeah, just a simple couple things like that. But if he did all those things, but if he's 5'10",
Yeah, not
no,
Maybe
no.
maybe he likes to go to plays. You watch.
All right. Well, on that note,
Good.
anything else? Any other trades you guys want to talk about?
It sounds like you're slowly guiding us off here.
No,
I think
that's
that's just because you're
I'd
excited.
like to trade
about the
Joe for
outro.
someone who's more excited about this podcast.
Yeah, me too.
I have been the most.
Speaking of trades, one time I ran a Madden league in high school, and Adam was in it. And if anyone knows, when you run a Madden league, you can turn on and off trading. If you turn it on for the computer, they accept every trade. I turned it on and I didn't tell anyone else. There, I said it.
This was
for the world to hear.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Ty's
of
got
it.
Ray Lewis fucking.
There was a hierarchy of like there was like 10 people, 8 people in the league, whatever it was, and like myself and our friend, we're not using government names, were far above the rest. And then there was a second tier, and Ty was in that second tier.
Yeah, I wasn't as good at
And we
mine
all
as him.
fantasy drafted teams. We all ended up with pretty good teams.
Not as good as mine.
And then out of nowhere, Ty had 90 plus players at every position. We were like, how'd this happen? He's like, I just made a bunch of trades. Like we're looking through, we're like, this is probably pre Tyreek Hill, but it would be the equivalent of being like, Tyreek Hill for a 7th rounder. It's interesting.
What a working out trade that was.
Why do they accept that?
My team was loaded.
I can imagine.
So, little spin off here. What did you guys do for Valentine's Day? Let's pull at the heartstrings, huh?
Last year I got engaged.
Yeah, I want to put Adam on the spot here because I can see that flower over there. So what did Adam do for Valentine's Day?
The intern got me a flower. We ordered it in sushi because that's what we did last year. Because nobody tells you this. You guys will know when you do get engaged.
Oh yeah, you're so far ahead of us.
This fucking guy.
Yeah, what a dick.
It's a great moment, and then it ruins the rest of your day. Not for fighting purposes, anything like that. Like great moment between you two, but just the amount of people you have to tell, and then people call you. You call your parents. You call your grandparents. All that stuff.
Just don't tell anyone.
Well, looking back.
Oh,
on
look
it,
at this.
Yeah. You should honestly like wait a day and be like, last night I did this. That way you can enjoy it. We were on the phone for like 3 hours last year. So halfway through like
Funny.
our third phone.
That was
I
gonna
didn't
say,
get a
yeah, you
call.
know what, Ty?
Yeah,
I don't think I got a phone
I
call.
didn't get a call.
I didn't call any friends. Drew did call me. Oh, government names.
No,
No government names.
Ty,
Yeah.
he did call friends. He did not call us.
Yeah.
I didn't.
You
know. I
called your friends,
family
you just didn't
members.
call us.
I called family members. Some friends did
Yeah,
call
little
me.
did you know, a year later you'd have a podcast with us.
I know, that's crazy. And my fiance is interning for us.
Scumbag.
She's been complaining about
You're
not getting
bag
paid,
of
by the
scum.
way.
Well, she's an intern.
Yeah, it's when did interns think they deserve money? But yeah, we ordered sushi. We watched a Barbie movie, which I thought was fine. I know you guys both said you had watched it.
No, I did not.
Oh, Ty said he had watched
I
it.
had watched it, didn't love it.
I went into it thinking I wasn't gonna like it, and I think it pleasantly surprised me.
Yeah.
But have you seen the Lego movie?
No.
Yes.
Fantastic movie.
Wait,
right?
the OG one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
It's really similar to the Lego movie.
Okay.
Like they just like copied it, and instead of like the Lego movie's premise is like this is how a normal working man feels, like whatever male depression, overcoming that, all that stuff is kind of like the deeper story behind Lego movie. This was now.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's a guy who's he's a Lego. He's kind of picked on by everybody, and he doesn't quite get it that he doesn't fit in, and then it hits him like a ton of bricks. But it's a really good movie. Barbie movies like that, except you're dealing with a Barbie. So it's more of like a feminism thing. It does have some very funny
But
I like
what did
Ryan
you do
Gosling
for
and Margot
Valentine's
Robbie,
Day?
so.
We watched the Barbie movie and ate sushi.
Yeah, Brooke worked.
No government names.
The girl I'm dating worked late, so
The girl
I
you're
got
paying to date you.
takeout Indian food.
By
and-
yourself?
No, for her when she got home. And
But you ate it all already.
Yeah, I was like, oops.
Oops.
Sorry.
You wanted some?
Good prequel to the next episode.
The drive to 205.
Ty, what'd you do?
I was in California for Valentine's Day, so when I got home, took the gal to a nice meal.
Where at?
Ruth
McDonald's?
Chris.
Oh, you went to the Worcester one?
Yeah.
Did you burn yourself on the plate?
Nope. No,
How'd you?
I know the rules.
What'd you think of it?
Dude, I'm a huge fan of any Ruth Chris.
So when
I
we
think
went,
Ruth Chris, for being a chain, like chain restaurants obviously usually suck, but Ruth Chris, my favorite thing they do, no matter what city they're in, when you go to a Ruth Chris, they hired interior designers from that city to specialize it to that city, and their steaks are always phenomenal in my opinion.
when we went right after they opened, and everything came out like lukewarm. Outside of the steaks
And
were
the plates.
the plates and the steaks were
Plates are
hot.
hot. Plates
Yeah.
are hot. Yeah.
Everything else was like lukewarm. We got like lobster mac and cheese, we got Brussels sprouts, all that good stuff, and everything came out and it was like, this is like borderline cold. But the steaks were fire, so I'm like, okay, steaks really good.
Steaks are good.
So I'm like,
But that's why you're going, right?
Well,
Lukewarm
yeah.
lobster mac and cheese still tastes totally fine.
no, it does not. It's lobster mac and cheese.
I am part of the segment of people that I don't even heat up my leftovers. Cold
Depends
pizza,
what
I'll
it
eat.
is. Yeah.
There's really rarely anything
I'm not
will
heating
heat
up pizza.
Yeah, no,
It's a waste of time.
I don't have the
It
time.
takes flavor out of it.
Yeah,
I do it. I hate
Well,
it.
they have
Throw
that
it in a
special
toaster
one.
oven,
You
make
put
it
like,
nice.
well, you put some water in a frying pan and you put it in there.
Oh, it comes
and
out great.
Cover it.
Yeah.
I've never done it.
It comes out great. I don't do it for myself, but if she wants
Chinese
to reheat
food.
it, don't reheat it.
It depends what it is.
Depends.
If it's spare ribs at the bottom of the box and it's got that fat layer on there, yeah,
Right.
you shake your head.
I
you're
just
all
scrape
like,
off the fat and eat it.
Ah.
Or just throw it down like
No,
gum.
I'm just.
Yeah, I'll
popping
go to the
that
same
in.
place.
Oh, you heat it up? The spare
Well,
rib?
If there's fat on it,
Oh no, I eat the whole fucking thing.
with
I don't-
fat on
I
it,
don't give a fuck, dude.
Hey, you're
dude,
eating.
that is repulsive.
You're eating all that fat anyway.
Drive to 205.
It dries. No, it's when I put it in the microwave, it liquefies and goes away.
Yeah, and then you slurp it with a straw. At the end. That's how you do that. Fucking psycho.
The drive to 205.
I don't know. Chicken fingers are fine cold.
Yeah,
I can
chicken
pop
fingers
those.
and
They're
egg
fine.
rolls are fine cold.
Need a little bit of water after eating them, but yeah,
Duck
fine,
sauce.
fine by me.
You like duck sauce?
Yeah,
it's not
remember
bad.
that time you
Sounds
paid me
good.
$20 to drink a whole thing of duck sauce? The
Yeah.
big thing?
Yes.
It's a big tub. Took it down. One time Adam paid me $10 per raw egg. I took down like 8 raw eggs.
Yeah,
just
we had to
cracking 'em.
cap the profits.
Yeah, Adam was like, all right, never mind. I get you can do
Scratch,
it.
scratch that.
It was like the opening scene of Rocky 1.
With egg prices these days?
Yeah, but
You
we were at a
kidding me?
high school party and Ty just went into said person's fridge and ate all their eggs.
Is that the one when you broke a light?
I didn't break the light. I worked hard to fix it.
And I showed up late, and then you were like, "Joe, thank God you're here. We got to fix this light."
Oh,
I'm like,
no,
"That's
no.
broken glass, Adam. We can't
Was that?
fix it."
Was that?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess you were there.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a lot of things broken there.
That was a great night.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about
Then we
that.
stayed up the entire night trying to clean the place. And
The,
then,
dude, the best thing that we did there was we had to clean up all the trash. So whoever left their car there that night, we just threw a trash bag in all their
Yeah.
cars. So people came back to
Dang
get their
it.
cars. They were full of trash.
Take it.
Sorry for anyone who hears this. You had trash in your car.
Well, no, that's
We played it off like we didn't know what we were talking about.
that's
Yeah,
the
we
parking
pretended
pass
car.
right there. Though the parking pass is you got to take the trash out.
Yeah.
that's one of those nights though that I wish we had a camera. Like,
All right, we're
No-
getting into
No.
stuff that people aren't gonna pick up on.
no, not nostalgia. Like a friend of ours, the entire driveway was blocked. A friend of ours left, shouldn't have left, and got home, but the driveway was blocked, and we have absolutely no idea how he
On
got out.
that note,
I just want to know how he got out. That's all I want to know. Anything else to talk about?
that's what I got.
That's what I got.
That's what I got.
Pleasure to be back, boys.
Enjoy the
outro.
outro.
Later.
Joe.
Thanks.
That was fucking crazy, man.
All right, fellas. Love you.
Goodbye to all our friends. Now forget the things we said. They were all stupid. That's why you listen at your own risk. Stay tuned for the next show. Send feed pics right to Joe. And always listen at your own risk.